stars I shine. I hope that I can be like that, baby.
35 performances, 4 stages over 3 days. That is what was on offer at this year's Standard Bank Joy of Jazz, South Africa's oldest jazz festival. Local and international artists will be treating Johannesburg audiences to the sounds of Kwela, acid jazz, R&B, Marabi, and as you heard, much, much more. The festival is currently being held in Johannesburg until tomorrow, and it's going to be featuring some of the greatest artists, including Jonathan Butler, James and Gerald Albright. Well, 2 of the musicians, internationally renowned percussionist and composer Kahil, as well as, you just heard from him now, Jose James, who is often referred to as a jazz singer for the hip-hop generation. Or maybe I'm part of the hip-hop generation because I'm loving that. It is so good to have both of you in studio. Welcome.
Thank you.
What I think makes it so much more special is that this is the first time you're both performing in South Africa. Jose, I'm going to begin with you. What are you expecting?
Honestly, I'm expecting an amazing audience. You know, so far it's been unbelievable. Like the reception, just walking around, talking to people, everyone is so excited. All the social media, everybody is like completely hyped. So yeah, my expectations are high.
They're high. I promise you we're going to meet them. Kahil, the same for you. I'm going to ask you the same question. Your expectation from South Africa?
That it's a spirit gathering, that it's an energy force that's all about the goodness of the feeling of music and the love of culture. And I'm very proud to be here and really excited about, performing.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad. I'm glad that you're here. Jose, we were listening to your song and my first impression was, hang on a second. Jazz? Talk to me about your sound. I absolutely love that. I mean, that's a massive fusion between hip-hop and jazz. Where did it all come from? How did it start?
Well, you mentioned Miles Davis earlier, and I think people like him or Quincy or Train always tried to push beyond what they knew. And today's sound, is often very electronic. I lived in London for about 2 years, so that really kind of influenced the way I think about music. It all comes down to the drum for me. It's you, man. Mm-hmm. It's the beat, it's the rhythm.
Yeah.
That's that spirit, of Africa and of jazz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything else is just on top.
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. Now I've got to have a moment with Kahil here because Kahil, you have the list of people that you've played alongside. The greats, Dizzy Gillespie, Cannonball Adderley. You were also in the bands of Stevie Wonder, and then, if I could kneel down, I would. Nina Simone.
Yeah.
I mean, she is my all-time hero. I absolutely worship Nina Simone. What was it like for you? I mean, with names, just the few that I've mentioned. I mean, you've played with the best in the world.
I feel very thankful for the experiences of my life, and these were all and are really, really great artists, but they're human beings that something special comes through them. And if it's one thing that I've learned is to allow yourself to be a vehicle of expression rather than trying to control the idea or the concept. And I mean, play with Stevie. Like I remember once in Atlanta, we did a 4-hour concert and we all had wished that he could see us in that moment because he was the only one that wasn't tired.
Wow.
But he had so many hit songs that, people kept saying, Stevie. And me and the rest of the band were like, whoa.
Get time out. This is it. We can't go on anymore. But he was just wanting to go on and on.
And if Nina was here right now and she saw your headdress right now, she would say, go girl.
Hey.
She would say, wow.
She would say, it worked.
That's right.
It worked.
That's right.
We're crossing cultural barriers
Absolutely.
here because I think that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And that's a beautiful thing about music. It's a beautiful thing about jazz and everything associated with it. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what color you are, what your background is. There's just this common thread of love, and that's what jazz is about, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's an amazing thing. You actually wrote a song, Kahil. You did something called Songs for a New South Africa.
Yeah,
What's
with David Murray.
About? With David Murray. I mean, talk to me about that.
It's in the 70s, everybody really hung together. So Mongozo Fezzi, Dudu Pukwana, Johnny Diani, Louis Maholo and the group Jabula, the Mahatala Queens. So I've known all these people since the 70s. And so South African jazz and the idea of freedom through the expressions of music is very much a part of this heritage. And so I wanted to say something about it in that particular song, that we thank you for all of your expression. We connect with this expression from America to South Africa, and that the future is really about freedom.
Jose, I mean, I've been raving about Nina Simone, who is truly up there of, I think, my all-time greatest artist. But I mean, another woman who is just beyond amazing is Billie Holiday. And I know she's a great inspiration of yours. In fact, your album is, yesterday I had the blues, the music of Billie Holiday. Obviously, she's a major influence on your music. And how do you fuse your sound into the Billie Holiday sound?
Well, that's a good question. I think it's more emotional. You know, Billie Holiday is my first memory when I was, 3 years old, going through my mom's LPs and then pulling out records, and I saw her face and the flower in her hair, And she's been with me my entire life, So I think I really relate to the way she lived. I think there's a lot that hip-hop relates to that too, coming from nothing to becoming one of the biggest stars in the world.
Good morning.
Well, listen, I wish both of you the best of luck. When are you on stage, by the way, Jose? When are you on?
I think 11 and midnight.
Both tonight.
Both tonight.
Both of you on tonight, 11 and midnight, and
Yes.
also together.
At midnight.
At midnight.
Right.
Well, that's when you come alive.
That's right.
And look what we did to you. We brought you out in the morning.
So are you coming tonight?
Do you know?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know more than
Yes,
anything in the world? I want to be there, but I am catching a flight tonight, and I'm leaving. I'm going overseas, and I'm leaving you here, and I am so sad because I really don't want to miss this, but I have to. I'm so sorry, but you've got to come back. That means you've got to come back.
For sure.
Well,
sure.
to everybody else
Absolutely.
that's going to be there, it's going to be unbelievable. But the good news is, we have a special treat for you. 5 viewers here on Morning Live have an opportunity to win themselves 5 double tickets and a set of 3 CDs of some of the musicians performing at this year's Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. All you need is to be available to attend tonight's event, to clear your diary, but you've got to be in Johannesburg with your own accommodation, obviously, and transport. Answer the simple question. Name just 3 musicians performing at this year's Joy of Jazz Festival. Email the answer. Email, don't tweet, email. morninglive@sabc.co.za. Just 3 of the artists. I'm going to give you 2 answers already because I'm going to thank my guests for being here in studio with us tonight. It's been such a pleasure. Kahil, Elzabah, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank
and Jose, James, thank you. You guys are amazing. Thanks so much. Let's take a break. See you after this.
I got those